Okay, so here we are back with HBR on mental toughness. This is on the making of a corporate athlete. I love this one. So this is on page 53 in this book. It's Lair and Schwartz. It's from 2001, so it's a long time ago. But this is interesting. Interesting folks here, Lair and Schwartz. So they had trained high-level athletes, and then they realized someone asked them to come in to do some corporate speaking, and they realized that corporate could use the same kind of structure that their professional athletes needed, and so they discussed the making of a corporate athlete. They discussed that sustained, kind of high performance is needed in the corporate world, and why not use what we know about professional sports and training to help the people, the leaders like yourself. So I thought that was really interesting, and they thought their goal was to use it for increased pressure and because leaders always have to navigate rapid change. So most approaches are from the neck up. They don't think about the body and how the body of a leader matters for the neck up. People always say the mind-body connection. I always say it's the neck, So we're all connected, of course, through one body, and people will say mind and brain in different sense. But okay, so where's your mind if it's not your brain? I don't know, just floating somewhere. So I don't know, people forget the physical connections, I think, sometimes. That's why I think I love this article, because it reminds us of it. So they said most approaches for leaders is from the neck up. So what they did is they took something like emotional intelligence and high performance skills and put them together. And they also talked about spiritual training as well, which is the way they defined it was to think about your value and your sense of purpose, and then to take that whole perspective. So to take the cognition, the physical, neck down, and the spiritual, which again were your values and your sense of purpose, and put that all together to build an ideal state for the leader. So they said you need these secondary competencies like endurance, strength, flexibility, focus, self-control. But how do you build your capacity? So they said stress. Again, we just had heard a different video about the importance of positive stress, how stress really shows us what's important to us and actually shows us what we're willing to work on. But here they talk about building your capacity through stress or recovery, and then stress oscillation. So they said, you only should work for so long and then you should rest. And there should be like deep rest, so if you're going to work really hard, you also should rest really hard. And then they said the enemy is just not being disciplined by it. So the enemy of high performance is that there's no discipline. There's just intermittent recovery here and there. But they said we should be very intentional about working for 90 to 120 minutes and then resting. Make sure you're taking that rest. So taking that rest. So they said, an executive has a 12 to 14 hour day of high performance. That really they need to be very purposeful or deliberate and disciplined about recovery as well. So they said that everyone can train better. The body is the source of energy and the professionals of performance. So they pointed at rituals, that there should be particular rituals throughout the day to improve performance. So let's jump into it. Let's see. So I love that. So what do you think? So if we can all train better as leaders, they really recommended that 90 to 120 minutes should be tops. And if you're in a meeting that long, you absolutely need to take a break and to go recharge, whether it be, get into nature, have good nutrition, a little stretch, a little movement, connect with others in just a relaxed state. But they said the whole perspective is super important for ideal training, that you need the cognitive, physical, and spiritual. I haven't really heard that combination before, that the spiritual can be what we discuss as your values and your sense of purpose. But it makes so much sense, doesn't it? That if you just think neck up only as leadership development, that is not the whole picture. You can use your body to indeed improve your leadership capacities. Yeah, very interesting. So this was written by Lair and Schwartz in 2001. So we can all train better, I'd say, because the body is the source of energy and performance. And they really stressed rituals to improve our focus at work. So let me know, what do you do to improve your focus at work? Just put it in the comments. I'd love to hear.